All right, hey guys, welcome everyone. Steve Salvia here. Glad you could make it for today's live coaching call. Really excited about today's session. I reckon this topic's absolutely incredible. And I reckon right now, as we speak, the LinkedIn platform needs to be the cornerstone of every single professional future. And it's almost a limitless opportunity to grow your influence, find new people, and fill your diary. And I reckon that's how important LinkedIn is. But the problem is that most financial planners, they haven't moved past the basics. They pretty much don't know where to start to do that as well. So that means there's a massive opportunity that's out there right now, and it's going big. And so that's why I've devoted this week's session and also next week's session as well and created some tools and some templates to give you for you to absolutely smash this once and for all. It's just get this out of our way and have one of, if not the best LinkedIn profiles out there in the marketplace. That's my promise to you today. Okay, so it's going to be really cool. So today we're going to talk about your brand. We're going to talk about your profile and how to set it up, sort of the Blackwing way, I guess. So we're basically going to talk about the mechanics of getting yourself set up inside LinkedIn properly. And then in the next session, next fortnight, in 2 weeks' time, once we've got all the moving parts right, so I'll give you a little bit of time to get that right, get all the backstage sort of done right, then we'll move into the connection side and the interaction side of things and how we can leverage LinkedIn and get you some new people to talk to and help you build some authority as well. So that's what you've got to look forward to in the next session. Okay, so now that could be new clients, it could be new prospects, or it could be new connections, or it could be new centers of influence. LinkedIn's a multifaceted way for you to get to the right people out into the world and people that you wouldn't normally know before. So it could be connections or prospects, and like I said, new clients or centers of influence. Okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to get you really good at using LinkedIn and make it work for you and your business. So pumped. Absolutely can't wait to do this. I hope you're as pumped as I am too. So let's do this. All right, guys, what I might do, I've just probably I should have do me a favour, find the question box. And my question for you right now, just so I know, so I've got a gauge of where you're at on this whole LinkedIn thing, right? I'd love to know what's your level of skill or your, of your expertise or your usage on LinkedIn on a scale of, say, 1 to 10. So I'd love you to say, so 1 is I've got a profile, but I've never even go on it, never use it, don't do anything with LinkedIn. Or the other way, at 10, I'm a rock star on LinkedIn. I'm getting heaps of clients from LinkedIn. It's a part of my daily ritual, me being in LinkedIn. So I'd love to know from you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think you're, how good are you at LinkedIn, in other words? So I'd love to know from you right now. So just take 10 seconds to do me a favor. I just want to get a gauge of where we're at on that. Okay, cool. Okay, this is great, guys. Good. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, so we've got, what is LinkedIn? Mediocre 5, says Matt. Thank you. Danielle says 2. Julie's saying a 0. Okay, cool. That's so we've got to, so we won't have to add too much value to help with you there, Julie. 5 out of 10 for knowledge, says the CFL guy. Steve, got a profile but dormant. So 1. 1, okay. 2, we've got a 4 there, Benny. Williams a 2. Steve's about a 3 out of 10 for usage. Doesn't look great and where it should be, says Benny. Yeah, okay, cool. This is good, guys. 6, I know what to do but don't do it. Okay, so skill level's good. Implementation level maybe a bit lower than we'd like. Okay, thanks, Susan. That's great. Awesome, guys. Really good. This is good. Got another 2 there, 3. Got a 2. Okay, great. Yes. Okay. Cool. Great, guys. Thank you so much for that. That helps me a lot, and it'll sort of help me decide what to do and where to go with this today. So that's great. So, guys, I'd just love to know. I'm just going to clear the hand raising. Just a side question here. Who's ever got a client directly through LinkedIn? So I'd love you to just raise your hand if you've ever got a client directly from an interaction that you've had with someone through LinkedIn. So got a client before. So I'm just scanning the raise your hand. Oh, dudes, there is not one hand up right now. We've got about 28, 30, 25 people on the line and not one hand up. Okay, all right, cool, great. guys are going to love this next 2 weeks. This is going to be awesome. All right, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate your interaction, and that's kind of part of the deal here as well. All right, okay, guys, as you know, 6 core themes at Coaching Club, and June's Marketing and Scale month, and we did miss last week, so that's why I'm going to take this over into the next week. I'm going to sacrifice a week of model next week, and because I want to do this Marketing and Scale next week as well, so I hope you guys are okay with that. So what we want to do, we want to improve your reach and build some leverage so that you can scale up faster. That's kind of the theory. That's where we're at. And I don't think there'd be anyone on this call who couldn't do with some more people to talk to right now. So, I think one of the biggest challenges that we see is, and I said not just with the guys I'm working with, there's people that I talk to. I'm talking to lots of financial planners out there, and I think the biggest problem we've got is the ability to consistently and seamlessly generate inquiries from interested prospects that have been warmed up and that have come to you for your advice. So that's why the ability to influence is so much more important these days, and it's more important than ever before, and that's why it's so much more important to master it right now. So if there's one thing you need, it's traffic and more qualified prospects to speak to, and that'll give you more appointments in the diary. And what we're trying to create is a straight line process, and we're going to use LinkedIn as that mechanism, as that conduit to get you more clients, because I think every single person that you want to talk to should have at least a LinkedIn profile, okay? And that's why we're doing today on the way you interact with prospects on LinkedIn and the tools to make it happen as well. And we'll have the tools and the platform we'll have that all set up right, and so that you don't have to do the work, because the platform and the tools that we give you will do the work for you. Okay? And that's exactly what we want. All right, so here's the thing. So if you don't, if you don't have a really good handle on LinkedIn, if you just don't have a good usage of it, you're not using it to its full extent. You've got it there, but you're not really using it, or you know what it is, or maybe you should be on there, but you're not sure where to start. Here's what happens: a few negative things happen. The reality is, you end up with, you've got a profile, but you've actually got no profile. I just want to repeat that. You've got a profile, because I think everyone on this call has got a profile, but they don't actually have a profile. That might be how you're feeling right now. Okay, and maybe, even if maybe just a little bit, just in your heart of hearts, that might be what it is. You've got a LinkedIn profile because you've been told you need to have one, and you go there sporadically, and you have a read over things every now and then, and you just find, you just find that most of the stuff that's in your LinkedIn feed or LinkedIn thread is just like industry guff or stuff from other financial planners, and it doesn't, and that doesn't really add any value. It's like you go in there, you don't talk to anyone, and then you just log out. Okay, so guys, just raise your hand for me, guys. I'd love to know who can relate to that. You go in there, you don't really do anything, and then you log out. Who's done that before? Just raise your hand for me. Do me a favour, find the raise your hand box, and yeah, right. Okay, this hand's going up. We've all done it. Don't worry, I've done it too. And so what happens is you've got a profile, but no actual profile, and you're just another name in a crowded place, and virtually no one knows you, and no one's heard of who you are. The second thing that happens is that I think most of us understand this, at least intellectually, that LinkedIn could be valuable, but we just don't know how to use it properly. It's confusing. Do I talk to people? Am I supposed to ask questions in there? I don't know what to say, or who to say it to, or the way to say it. What if I say something wrong and people don't like what I say? They're going to, there might be a backlash. That sort of thing. That backlash is sometimes good, by the way. But I just don't know what to say. There's all this fear and indecision that comes from not having spent the time to master LinkedIn. And of course, what happens is you just physically don't use it. It's there, but you never use it. And what happens then, and because of that, what happens is that you've got a profile up there, but it's not really a profile. You should be using it, but you don't know where to start. And so the reality is, when you don't know how to start, you just don't start at all, right? And it's like LinkedIn's there. It's there. It's teasing you. It's taunting you. You should be using it. You should be in there. You should be where all the other guys are. It's daring you to do something with it. And because it's there, it's in the back of your mind all the time. It's in your face all the time. You're thinking about LinkedIn. You should be in there. And what happens is it starts to become a drain. It drains your focus. It drains your energy. It drains your time, because you go in there and you don't do anything. You surf the thing, really. If you think about it, they used to say surf the internet. Well, you surf LinkedIn, don't you? You just scroll down and down and down and down and down, and really nothing happens, and you go away. Okay, and then you log off again. So it's becoming more of a hindrance than a help, because it's just sapping your energy, and energy is too valuable. We don't have enough energy for this thing to sap, right? None of us needs to get sapped of energy. Then what happens is, well, you start to beat yourself up, don't you? Because in your heart of hearts, it's just another wasted opportunity gone begging. There's some planners out there that are doing it really, really, really well, and you want to be doing it well as well. But it's just another thing you've got to do, and it doesn't get done, and it starts to get you down. It's another opportunity gone begging. But here's the thing, okay, so I've just sort of shown you what happens if you don't use LinkedIn right, if you don't master LinkedIn, and that's why we're doing this masterclass. And there's some things we definitely want to avoid, right? But here's the thing, what if we could put our minds to this and work on this together? What if we could flip this around? We could turn this around on its head and actually do what you've always wanted to do, and finally get advanced level at LinkedIn. I want you to get to an advanced level at this, okay? All the people you want to work with are in LinkedIn. They've got a profile out there somewhere, probably a lot like yours too, by the way. Not a lot of people really know how to use LinkedIn. The ones who are using it and using it well are getting a lot of value out of it. But the people that you want to talk to have got a profile. We've got to get to them. We need to use LinkedIn to reach out to them. I think if we do that, here's some things that happen. So instead of having a profile that is not really a profile, a Clayton's profile. Remember the old Clayton's ad? The profile you have when you don't have a profile. So instead of having that, you actually get yourself to what we call all-star status. All-star in the right circles, in the right groups, in the eyes of the people that matter. You're not somebody that no one pays any attention to anymore. People sit up. They take notice. They pay attention to you every time you comment, or every time you say something, every time you put your opinion across, or every time you disagree with someone in there and give them an alternative view. People sit up. They lean in towards you, to what you say. Every time you put some value on LinkedIn, people come towards you. And it makes you the person that everyone thinks is relevant, and when something of relevance crops up in their life, you're the first person they think of. Okay? Instead of being a novice at this, and not know what to do or who to do it with or where to go to do it, what if we could make this the engine room of how you market and attract your perfect client? We go from confusion to clarity to conversions to clients. Now, that sounds pretty good. Confusion to clarity to conversions to clients. Guys, can you all write that down? That's a pretty cool one. So we go from confusion to clarity to conversions, to conversion to clients. Okay? We squeeze every single drop out of LinkedIn, every single piece of juice we can get out of LinkedIn, every bit of talk out of that engine. We make it the engine room of your business, and we make it a big part of your focus and how you market and attract people. And what if we could also, what if we could learn to use this properly, and we get all-star status in your niche, and you find that instead of zapping you and draining all your energy, it actually instead of zapping you, it actually zaps you. You see it work. You interact with people. You make connections. You uncover problems. You're providing solutions. You're helping people, and you do it at scale. And that's what LinkedIn's all about, doing it at scale. You actually get a buzz because it's doable. It's repeatable. And instead of zapping your energy, it gives you energy. It gives you what we need. When it gives you that, that recharge. When you see it working, it works for you. You feel really good. You get noticed. It's a natural feeling. You feel really good when you get noticed. It's like you're giving your network a gift. Every time you speak, every time you interact, every time you do something on LinkedIn, it's something valuable to your network, and they sit up and listen. And there's no more wasted opportunities anymore, or money or time going down the drain. You don't beat yourself up anymore. We don't need to, because when you get this right, what we can do, we can put in minimum effort for maximum ROE. And ROE is return on effort. Okay, minimum effort for maximum ROE, return on effort. And that's exactly what we want. All right, that's what I reckon. That's what I think. That's why I believe you need to master LinkedIn. You need to make LinkedIn one of the key pillars of growth and leverage and scale in your marketing attempts. Okay, but I'd love to know what you think, guys. You've heard what I've said, but I'd love to know from you. Why do you want to get better at LinkedIn, and why? Why do you want to get better at LinkedIn? For you personally in your business, what would be the value for you? Yeah, I've got a couple already. Yeah, I hear you. I'm working very indirectly. Yeah, so I've got a couple of people who are amening everything I've said so far as well, which is great. So, but I'd love to hear from you. Why do you want to improve at LinkedIn? You know, you've heard me talk about, finally being able to being able to position yourself and have a profile and something you can be proud of as well, and something that does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. We talked about confusion and clarity and conversions and clients, and we talked about that feeling when you do something really good on LinkedIn and it works for you. You feel jazzed, you feel energized, you want to do it again and again and again. You want to replicate it, and that's what we want. We want replication. But why do you want? What are your reasons for wanting to improve LinkedIn? I'll give you 10 seconds. Just have a quick sip of my cup of coffee here. It's a little bit chilly here in Perth today. I'd love to know from you. Just type that into the question box for me. All right, so Owen, yeah, absolutely. Open up sales opportunity. Yeah, it's actually opening up relationship opportunities for us to then open up sales opportunities. But yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, all roads lead to Rome for sure. We want sales opportunity. We want to do business with these clients. It's a networking. What people are forgetting is that LinkedIn is a networking platform, and we're just not networking with anyone. We're putting comments out there and putting fluffy stories out there and little inspirational sayings and stuff like that. But I don't know how much networking's going on in there. So you're right, absolutely, Alan. Thank you. Lee says one to many, not an area I've been strong on thus far. Great, mate. We're going to turn that around for you, and things are going to look up. That's for sure. Showing authority, go-to person, engaging, creating new clients. Thanks, Matt. If we don't start now, in 12, 18 months' time, we'll be left behind. As the industry is changing very quickly. Yeah, so, if we don't, we've got to start at the start. And that's the reality. A lot of you guys that we're talking to right now, you might be at the start. So probably, so we just got to start at the start, absolutely. Susan, it's a reliable source of quality contacts and a great way to get my difference out there. Absolutely. Thank you, Susan. Danielle, hey Danielle, be great to be able to target message for specific network areas, draw in people we want to find. Absolutely. We put the right message in front of the right market at the right time, and people are going to come towards you as well. Absolutely. And we can find them en masse. That's the beauty of what we're talking about here. Okay, great, cool. A couple more in there, but I'll move on because we've got a fair bit to get through today. But guys, thank you so much for your interaction. Those who are interacting, awesome work. Those who aren't interacting, you need to turn those screens off, those other screens that I can see on, because remember, I can see when there's other things on your screens here. So guys, if you aren't paying attention, please, just for the next hour or so, I'd love you to be interacting. We've got some really smart cats on this call who didn't help us with that list there, guys. So please play the game with us, okay? All right, let's get into that. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I'm going to give you 3 keys right now. These are going to be the starting points. And then if you've got a profile already, I want you to go back to ground zero here. Guys, just by the way, I'd love you to, if you can, sorry, I've just told everyone to get off another screen, but what I'm going to do, I'd love you to go into your LinkedIn profile. And if you want to open up another browser, go in and search for me and put my LinkedIn profile up in another browser on that as well. So, so besides being on LinkedIn right now, please be off anything else. But yeah, if you have got the ability, get another browser open and get LinkedIn open on your profile, and also if you can get another browser next to that, go into LinkedIn and go and search for me, Steve Salvia. In there, you'll find me in there. And just open that up because we're going to walk through that and just going to give you a few examples in there as well. I want you to sort of compare with what you've got right now. Okay, so guys, if you've already got a LinkedIn profile, you go back. We're going to rebuild everything from the ground up. Okay, so make sure you're walking along with me today, and we might even sort of check in and, like I said, we'll have a look at some things that are working in some good profiles there. Okay, so you ready? And guys, if you haven't been taking notes, guys, seriously, I reckon this is the time to start taking the best notes you possibly can, okay? So here's tip number 1. So tip number 1 is this. First thing I want you to do is I want you to audit your profile, okay? That's the first thing we're going to do. That's the starting point. I want you to take a few steps. What is it, basically? I want you to take a few steps back, and I want you to have a look at your profile. Remove yourself from the auditing of that profile and just pretend it's an external audit. I want you to see it from the perspective of how a potential prospect would see your profile. So it's not you looking at it, because you might like your stuff. You've got to think, okay, I'm trying to get XYZ client, my avatar. If they look at my profile, what would they think? If I was them, what would they think? Okay, so I'd love to, I want you to do that for us. Okay, the reason we want to do that is because you want to get a feel for how other people can see your profile and get a sense of what they sense when they land on your profile. So if you do connect with them and they are interested and they come and have a look at your profile, what are they going to feel when they get there? The more comfortable you are with how it looks and how it feels and how it reads, and the higher the chances are that the potential prospect's going to have a good experience, and they're going to want to keep going with you, keep interacting with you, and they're going to want to take the next step. So I'd love $1 for every time I've asked a financial planner to have actually looked at their own profile in the connections view. And I'll show you in a minute, but there's actually a way that you can look at your profile, how your profile looks out there to the world. Okay. And they just say to me, well, I don't even have a clue what you're talking about. So there's a way you can do that. So it's like those cooking shows. You think about it. So, MasterChef blows me away how many times people get caught out when they say, did you taste it before you serve this up? Have you ever heard that, guys? Just raise your hand for me. Who's ever watched those cooking shows and, and heard before? The judges always say, did you taste this before you serve this up to us? And there's people on Masterclass, they say no. So they serve up this food and they didn't even dip their finger in to taste what it's like. Right, so that's what, yeah, hands going up. We've all heard it before, and that's what we're doing with our LinkedIn profile as well. We've got to taste it to make sure that the seasoning's right. Okay, so that's what you want to do. We want to get the key levers and dials right. You want to make sure you're happy. Taste the flavour. And the other thing you want to do also, it's just like Facebook. LinkedIn is driven by algorithms, and there's this actual thing called all-star status. I mentioned it earlier. I talked about all-star status, but there's actually this thing called all-star status. The more you fill your LinkedIn profile, the higher up the status level ranking that you go, and then the better your algorithms are for people who are searching for people like you on LinkedIn. So it's just like Facebook. So it's really, really important that you fill it in and complete as many details as you possibly can inside that LinkedIn and get your status up. LinkedIn will connect you with more potential connections in the right space, the more you complete your profile with keywords and, interconnectivity. That's what we're all about here. Okay, so guys, what I want to do, and I'm just going to, what I might do is grab my iPad for you. I just want to give you an idea about this and really give you a bit of an understanding of what we're talking about here. So if that's okay, so I'm just going to grab my iPad up on the screen and make sure this works. Okay, so this is basically the LinkedIn breakdown. So I just want to just get that out there. Okay, so basically what I want you to do, guys, I just want you to draw a Venn diagram. Just draw 3 circles. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's 3. Oh, one's an oval, but that's okay. And there's 3 things that you really want to be looking at here when you're doing this sort of audit. The first thing you want to do in this first circle here, you really want to look at who. Okay, so I just want you to write the word in who. So who is it? Okay, so what is your, and so the thing is here, what does your profile say? What does it say about them? Because we're going to talk about your prospects as well. And what does it say about us? In other words, your business. So what does it say about 3 things? What does it say about you? What does it say about them, your prospects? And what does it say about us? It's the first thing you want to look at when you're doing this audit. Okay. Second part here in the second circle, you've got to think about the what. Okay. So what? So basically, I'm going to ask you here, what value do you give? I'll just say, do you give on your LinkedIn profile? Is it all about you? Is it just a little statement about you? Do you give anything to people who come onto your profile to have a look at you? So we want to firstly have a look at the who and what it says about you, them, and us as the business. The second thing you want to look at is the what. So what value are you giving to people who actually come on to your profile? And third thing we want to do, so we've got the who, we've got the what, we need to think about the how. So these are the 3 things you need to think about when you're doing your audit. So the question I've got for you is how do you, number 1, earn the right is what I'd say there. How do you earn the right to be talking about that? So what sort of earn the right story do you have in your LinkedIn profile? How do you, the second thing here is how do you show you know? So these are the 3 keys of a Blackwing style LinkedIn profile. So how do you earn the right to talk to them about blah, about whatever? How do you show them that you know about blah, about whatever the thing you want to do, want them to think you know? And the third thing is, how do you give them something? We want to give them something. We want to reward people for coming to your LinkedIn profile so that they keep coming back again and again and again. It's like giving a child a lolly. You know, when you give a child a lolly for good, when you reward someone for good behaviour, a child for good behaviour, guess what? They just continue the good behaviour. So that's exactly what we want. And if you do this right, what happens is that if you've got if it says the right thing about you, them, and your business, and you give some value, what happens is you start to develop some personality. You start to develop a personality in there. Okay. The second thing, if you've got value and you earn the right and you show them that you know and you give them something of value and you give them a gift basically, it also gives you credibility. Credibility. Okay, so it gives you credibility. So we're starting to build some personality. We're starting to build some credibility. And the third thing is, if you're saying the right things about you, them, and us, and you earn the right, and you show you know, and you give people something, you're starting to now showcase your expertise. I hope you can read all that, guys. Okay, so they're the three keys in this. We want some personality, we want some credibility or authority, and we also want to show our expertise. And if you do that and you do it right, that's how you conduct a really cool audit on your LinkedIn profile. All right, so guys, so hopefully you've been riding along with that. We get that the three parts of this LinkedIn profile. It's the who, it's the what, it's the how to build credibility. Personality, credibility, and expertise. Okay, so hopefully you've jotted all that down as we went. Guys, any questions on that? I'm just going to open up for questions before I move on. Worst show on TV, says Lee. Well, our family would tend to disagree with you on that because we're kind of hooked on MasterChef, but you know, each to their own. I don't actually, even though I do control our remote control, I don't get to control everything on there as well, I've got to say. Hey guys, any questions on that? I'm just going to open up for question before I move to the next slide. So if you want to just ask me a question, I'll just give you 10 seconds to slide in the questionnaire. Anything you're not sure of, that should be pretty clear. I think it's pretty standard stuff that I just spoke through there. But I don't know how many people have actually physically done that as well. What I might even do, just quickly, I might even grab my LinkedIn profile up and let's just have a bit of a walk through and see if we can get a gauge and maybe put some of this stuff into perspective. I'm pretty happy with my LinkedIn profile, so I'm going to use that as a guide today. There's maybe a couple of other good ones. There's some other good ones, obviously, but I just want to maybe we might just run through this for a minute, just put this into perspective a little bit and give you a bit of what do they call it? Bit of a benchmark here. Okay, he has not seen has not seen Gogglebox. Yeah, exactly. Hey, all right. So guys, just have a bit of a look. Let's just run down here. So remember before I talked about your all-star status. So this over here a lot of people don't know this, but on the right-hand side, with the algorithms, LinkedIn gives you a status. Basically, at the moment I'm an expert, so I want to get to what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to all-star status here. So now the reality is the only thing I haven't sort of added my education and my volunteer experience, and there's a few other little things that I haven't added in here. So I've just got to go through those. I just haven't got around to doing those yet, but I reckon I'm at expert at this stage, which is pretty good. Just when you're looking at yours, I'd love to know, just type in for me, if you're looking at yours, can you do me a favour and just tell me what your profile strength says on yours? So if you can just type that in for me, that'd be great. I'm an all-star, why aren't you? Susan, well done. You've obviously filled it up a little bit more. Great work. People should also register their business with Google Business if they haven't. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Matt. Yes, good. Watching others watch TV. Oh, yeah, I know you love Gogglebox. Fantastic. All-star. Benny says all-star as well. Great work. Excellent. So this is really good. I'm just going to scroll. So the reason mine, I've had a look at this, the reason mine isn't because I haven't done my education, my volunteer stuff and all that as well. So really good. Craig and I both so the boys are all all-star as well. Okay, so we're at all-star status. That's fantastic. So we need to make sure that we're using that. Okay. so we've got so have a look at image. So, we want to make sure we've got a really good professional image. It's definitely not Facebook. We want something of profession, authority, something if you've ever... Guys, if you haven't got many photographs of you in action at work or in your office or in front of a group or when you do a presentation, guys, we've got to get that camera out. We need to start building up these things because that is massive on credibility, and we can use it in lots of different ways on your website, in your Facebook profiles, and especially on LinkedIn. So, guys, make sure you're getting that camera out whenever you possibly can. If you haven't got someone with you, ask someone to take a photo. Give them your phone, your iPhone. Take great photos with iPhones these days, and make sure that you're getting photos done. Okay. All right. So I'll just scroll down my profile here. Okay. I've got posts. You can see that I've got 29 different posts in there. So we talk about giving and providing value and giving stuff and giving gifts and giving value and what we do for them. In my profile I've got 29 different blogs, and inside a lot of these blogs there's worksheets that people can download, or free guides, or tools, or checklists, or that sort of thing as well. So it's got good images. We've got a bit of a theme to these, and these things are all in our website as well. So you can see that there's heaps and heaps of Pulse articles and things in there. I've actually spent a whole heap of time the last couple of months or so. I've just developed another 30 Pulse articles and blogs that we're going to get out. So I've got a big bank of them now, which is really, really cool. So that's number one. So we want to make sure that we're giving people things. So again, when you're doing your post, if you decide to do a blog article, give them something, a budget planner or a cash flow template or some sort of checklist or a superannuation checklist that they need, cheat sheet that they should be working through, or make sure you're giving something, not just the blog as well. You want to give them something that they can click on, come to your website and download this free tool from you as well. So it's another opportunity to get them to come to you. I've got my summary in here, so as you know, and I'll talk to you about summaries in a minute, so hopefully a lot of you guys have seen my summary. It's very, very specific. It's very specific to my avatar. It really doesn't talk about me at all. It actually, because it says, I often get asked what a typical Blackwing Profit consulting client looks like. Well, the reality is they just look like you. And I go on to talk about exactly my avatar and the struggles and frustrations and problems that they are facing. And then at the end I ask, does that resonate? Does that sound like you? Does that resonate with you? If it does, if it resonates with you, well then I welcome you to come and join us today. So Blackwing Profit's not for everyone, and everyone's not for Blackwing. So I've painted a picture, and what I've done is I've actually used the word you, and as you know the rule there, it's the ratio, we want to use you, your, and you are, as opposed to I, we, or us on a ratio of 5:1. And I think I've done that even more than 5:1 on there. So it's all about them. So my awesomeness is all about them and how they'll get value from working with me. Underneath that, I've got some freebies. So we've got so for my avatars right now, financial planners obviously, I've got my 12-step meeting approach checklist. I've got my a blank copy of my growth equation guide for financial planners. I've got a referrals download that people can download here, a checklist for how to win the referrals game. I've got a why you don't have enough financial planning clients guide in here as well. So there's just some things that people can actually reach out and grab from me that shows that I know and shows that I'm an authority in this area, and that's something that they get value when they come to the LinkedIn profile. Got my experience, lots and lots of experience in here. So business coach, so what am I doing now as a business coach? And I've got recommendations on that business coaching business. Got lots of them there. Got 11 different recommendations. Got a heap of photos, also some images, so the people can see, hey, this guy must know what he's talking about. Now, whether I do or not, you guys will can either beg to differ on that. But I've got me in front of a group, in front of a crowd, basically in an authority position at all times. That one there, I'm actually on the microphone there. But yeah, in an authority position at all times. So it actually shows that I have some authority in the area of coaching financial planners. So again, the images and the photos are really, really important for you to make sure you're doing those. Public speaker. So in this new role, I want to be known as a public speaker as well, and I'm doing a lot of that sort of work lately. Okay, so it talks about what you get out of my 20-plus years experience in the game and what it's all about, and why would you have me as a guest speaker in your business. And again, I've got some images of me doing keynote speaking and at events all over the world. on there. So again, just building that authority and showing that I know, and trying to give them the feeling that it's also what am I saying about me? Well, the dude must know what he's talking about because he's on stage talking to people en masse about what he does. I've got my charity. I said I didn't have charity, but I've got my AFA. I'm the WA chair of the AFA Association over here. Talks about my work as a financial planner with honours and awards, and also sort of lots of recommendations on the work that I did in there. And there's some pretty prominent people who give me recommendations in that financial planning role as well. Probably could have got more. I've got heaps more testimonials, but there's plenty on there, and I can add some more later. Director of an accounting firm, so that shows my avatar that, hey, not only does he know about my business, he knows about the businesses that I want to get close to as well. So that's a pretty good string that I've got to my bow. I want to get near accountants, and this guy's run an accounting firm before, so he must know what he's doing. Hopefully that's the thought. My old coaching business, again, with recommendations in there, additional languages, projects that I've worked on. So again, so what I'm trying to do here, guys, I want you to have a look at your profile and think about what it's saying about you and about your business, and also about your clients, because a lot of this is about what all this awesomeness is for my potential clients. So what's yours saying about you? It's got my honours and awards, big part of what I do, and I want you guys have all, you guys have all got things that you've done, and you've passed accreditations, and you've done university degrees, and you've done CFPs and all the rest of it. All those things should be in here because they just add to your status, but they also add to your authority in here as well. So the AFA awards, I've got a few other awards. I've actually been drip feeding these in over time, so I haven't got too many in there, but I've got more to. There's another thing. Now, what I've actually realised a few months ago, that I had all my financial planning skills in here. I didn't have my coaching things in. So, guys, as a favour, just something I thought of this morning, guys, can you guys do me a favour and go in? I've actually put in a heap of business coaching things that I feel that I've got some skills at, and I haven't got many endorsements for them because I only put them in a couple of months ago. So, guys, if you feel it's valuable, I'd love you to go in and help me get some more endorsements in there. If you feel that I've helped you in some way in any of these areas, and I'm going to talk about reciprocation shortly, but if you can go in and help me build up a few of these new ones that I've just put in, that would be really, really helpful, and I'd be very, very, very much appreciated on that. But it's got, what I'm trying to get at here, I've got a list of skills. I've got my financial planning ones down the bottom here now. I've moved them because you can actually move these around inside here. Where you add skill, you can actually edit them as well, and you can drop and drag and push them around. So I've got the ones that I'm really more focused on now towards the top, and I've moved my financial planning ones sort of towards the middle and down the bottom as well. So again, guys, just make sure you've got, I think you can add 50 skills in there, and then you want to ask people to endorse you, and people will endorse you if they follow the law of reciprocity as well. Okay, so that's plenty of skills in there anyway. Additional details, advice for contacting me. So I'm just going to have a quick, I don't know if you've got it on your screen, you can see it better, but just have a quick look at my advice for contacting me, and I just want you to type into the question box what you noticed about this. What do you notice now? Looking at your profile, we can't see your summary. Summary's definitely in there for sure. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, got that. Owen got that. Yep. Would add public speaking time frame as same business. Would you note public speaking time frame as same time frame as business? If you're talking about with me or for yourself, mate, but I haven't been public speaking from the very start of my business side of things, so I probably did the public speaking later, so I'd probably have its own time frame there, Matt, if that helps there. So guys, hey, got a specific question, need some help about what I do, so you insert what you do, or just want to talk about improving your superannuation, retirement, or your taxation planning. If you do, feel free to fire a message to me in here, or go to my website and reach out in the contact session. If you'd like to book a Skype session with me, which I prefer, then hit this link. So here's the link to grab a Skype sessions with me. So see, I'm trying to make it easy with them as well. Just so you know, I work extremely hard to improve financial planners and their businesses and the profession generally, which means I'm often on projects, and if I'm inundated, one of our team members may respond on my behalf. What does that say? What does that say to people, guys? Can you do me a favour? Just type in, what does a contacting me say in there? When you read that, what does that say to people? What do you think I'm trying to get at? What do I want people to get from that yeah, from that contact me section. What do you think it says? Yeah, shows scale, absolutely. Thanks, Lee. Scarcity, thanks, Susan. That's where I'm going. Yep. Not a one-man band, exactly right. I want to have the perception of size, exactly right. I'm a really, really busy guy, and my time's valuable. So, yeah, I must obviously know what I'm doing. I must be an authority at something because I'm really busy. What else, guys? What does it say to you when you read that? What do you make of it? Just type into the question box for me. Authority and filters out time wasters. Thanks, Benny. Great work. Yes, now you're thinking. Exactly right. That's the sort of thing we're getting at here. So it's not just, hey, I've got so much time up my sleeve, I don't know what to do with it all, and you can talk to me anytime. Hey, there's a process, and I've also I've taught them how to make contact with me. I've given them a link, I've told them exactly what to do, and I've told them exactly what to expect at the end of it as well, and that's what I want you to do. So guys, feel free to copy and paste that. Value others like them, want you, exactly. Thanks, Nathan. Yeah, so guys, if you want to copy and paste that and tweak it up for your needs, please do that as well. Okay, heap of recommendations. So guys, really, really important. Recommendations are absolutely critical. Okay, you've got to be seen to know what you're talking about. So I'm going to help you with that. I've got lots and lots and lots in there. I've got about 30 different recommendations in there. And hey, guys, yeah, if you guys and you guys might get something on your little inboxes. If you haven't given me a recommendation yet, at the end of our session, maybe you might find something in your inbox to help me and maybe get some reciprocation as well. Okay, and groups I'm in, and also the people in the groups that I'm following as well. So guys, pretty comprehensive, fair bit in there, lots and lots of authority and credibility, and showing people that I know what I'm doing. You know, it was the same with the financial planning as well. If you read the financial planning, my overview summaries for the financial planning and the accounting firm as well, I was really comfortable with those. So if you want to just get some ideas, and that you're happy to glean anything off here, turn it into your own. I don't want you to copy and paste exactly, but I want you to make it your own. I want you to freestyle within the framework of what I share with you in here. But if you can use it to your benefit, I really think that's a good idea. Okay, guys, I think that was a valuable exercise, and hopefully you can get the bit of context around what we've been talking about today. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's slide into that. So that was point number one. We want to audit your profile and have a really good look and compare what you've got with what you should have. Okay, so that's point number one. Point number two, I want you to make it bread and butter. I want you to make this bread and butter. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a couple of things I mean here. So number one is that you are your brand. Sorry, just something that no, it's okay. I'll show you that later. So you are your brand, guys. You are your brand. On LinkedIn in particular, your personal brand is the most important thing. It's much more important than your actual business brand. Okay? So people come to LinkedIn to connect with people. They don't come to LinkedIn to connect with businesses. So can I just make that really clear, guys? I want you to write that down. People come to LinkedIn to connect with people, not businesses. So we want your LinkedIn profile to be all about you more so than about your business, okay? So it's you that you've got to showcase in this. And the second thing about this with the bread and butter is that, for any half-decent financial planner, interaction and talking to people should be your bread and butter, right? You know, it's financial planner one-on-one. You guys, everyone on this call should be good at interacting with people. But most of us, the reality is most of us don't have to learn about relationship building or interacting with people and that sort of thing. It's just, we're normally just innately good at interacting with people. We're born with it. It's just in us. We wouldn't be drawn to financial planning if we weren't good around people, or we didn't want to be around people, and if we didn't have some sort of inbuilt skill set to be able to relate to people and interact at some sort of level, okay? It's our bread and butter, right, in other words. So if that's the case, instead of going out there to a networking event, or joining clubs or groups, or doing it in person like we've used to, what we've been doing all these years, LinkedIn gives you the ability to be able to do it en masse, virtually for free. We can do it at scale, the same sort of thing, interacting with people, our daily bread and butter, the stuff that we're innately good at. It allows us to do it for free and do it en masse and scale. Okay, so we really need to get we need to get great at the various interaction styles on LinkedIn. There's a few different ways, and we're going to probably focus more on that sort of next week. All right, we'll do a little bit on it, but there's a few different styles that we've got to get good at. We're going to either pick a style and be that style, or we're going to mix and match up styles and just be a little bit flexible, be a bit adaptive, depending on where you're trying to interact and the way you're trying to interact. We want to maybe keep it fresh. So there's two ways: be a style and pick the style and be that style, or mix and match it a little bit. I reckon there's 5 styles that we need to know on LinkedIn. Okay, so whether it's and I reckon these 5 I'm going to show you now on the iPad. So just grab another one sheet of paper, show you the 5 styles that I think have worked best. That do work best, and have worked best for me on LinkedIn. Whether it's in your own post or whether you're latching onto something that someone else has done, or just different mechanisms for talking to people on mass. Okay, so I'm just going to try. Let's just do this again. I want to do that, and I'm just going to draw 5 columns, guys. So I'm just going to draw 5 columns. So if you can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 columns there, that's okay. Okay, all right. So the first thing, so what we're talking about here is basically styles of interaction in LinkedIn. Okay, so the first one I want to talk to you about is what I call the questioner. So it's the questioner. Now, can I get you to write these columns in 5 columns, and you can do them neatly. I'm not going to write it all out because it's a little bit slower on here. But, the questioner is basically they ask questions in LinkedIn and get conversations going. So they ask questions. Obviously, pretty basic. Okay. You can jot these down in your columns there, guys. So a questioner basically, they start threads. Okay. So questioners start threads by asking questions. They pose questions to people. The questioners also keeps them rolling as well. So they start a thread and they ask a question, and then they ask another question. They ask another question. They keep these threads rolling, so we get more and more people involved, and that's more and more people that we can then connect with. They sort of bump it. So if a thread's gone cold, often a questioner will come in and bump that question. I'll just rekindle the conversation again to get some more interaction. So even if it's gone cold for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks sometimes, a questioner will come back in and they'll bump that question and ask the question and get the thread rolling all over again. All right? So the first sort of style is the questioner. They start threads, pose questions, they keep it rolling, and they bump things. The second style is what we call I'll call that the expert contributor. The expert contributor, and they're kind of seen as an authority, seen as expert. Okay, so just jot that in the top of your column there. So if I get you to write these down in the columns, okay. So this type of person, this type of style, they add value through expert commentary. So someone will say something in a group or in a thread, and they'll come in with some authority commentary. It's always really valuable input. It's not just commenting or thanking. An expert will come in and they'll add an opinion. Okay. The expert contributor's got a broad knowledge base, and they have broad discussions. So it's not just on one topic, and there's a couple of people who are doing that really, really well in LinkedIn. You might have noticed that they're experts in lots of different fields. Okay, and they've got a good base of knowledge. An expert obviously has to know their stuff as well. Okay, so another bullet point there, just so an expert knows your stuff. To be an expert, you've got to know your stuff, especially in an environment where other people may know their stuff as well. And the other thing that a expert contributor might do, they'll add technical and factual points to the discussion, or to a thread, or to a comment, or that sort of thing. So they'll bring in some numbers, or they'll bring in some stats, or they'll bring in some evidence to the conversation. All right. So we've got the questioner style, we've got the expert contributor style. Another style you could be is what I call the contrarian, and I've actually played this game a little bit as well. The contrarian. Okay. The contrarian often disagrees. Okay, so the contrarian often disagrees, and I'll just give you some bullet points here to write underneath. So basically, they disagree. But what they do, they disagree, but offer an alternate view. And what that does, that sets off a whole new thread of conversation and gets people more engaged. Some people come in and disagree with that disagreement, but it also gets people interacting again and talking to people. And that's what we want to do. It's about interaction and connecting with people, talking to people. Okay, next thing there, just they maintain. Often these people, they maintain a high ethical stance. Okay, so often they're really good from an ethical perspective. They maintain the high ground. In other words. Okay. Again, this person, the contrarian, has to know their stuff as well. You've got to know your stuff if you offer an alternative view. They never make it personal, or you don't want to make it personal. I'll put it that way. So if you are going to be a contrarian, you don't want to make it personal, because you can sometimes open yourself up if you do make it personal. So it's never personal. It's just offering a different view and disagreeing with that view and saying, hey, I don't know if that's right. Here's what I think is right, and this is why I think it's right. And just the last thing there, they make it either, number one, they make it either a point of fact, so they come from a factual point of view, or they give you that contrarian view from a personal point of view, so from their own personal standpoint. All right. So there's a few different ways. So just trying to give you a few different styles that you can interact on your LinkedIn profile with people. We've got the questioner, ask questions. We've got the expert contributor, who's been like, it's seen as the expert. So you position yourself as an expert by being the expert in that group or the thread. We've got the contrarian, who offers up a different style and disagrees with that and offers another. Farmer. So the farmer is, I'd say, a high interaction. High interaction, and sort of nurtures conversations and groups and things like that as well. They do a lot of touch posts. A farmer posts things regularly. Now, I don't know if you've got them in your feed. I've got them in my feed as well, and sometimes that can be a bit of a pain. But there's people that sort of post 1, 2, 3 times a day, and that sort of thing. But that's what I'd call a farmer. Sometimes a little bit over the top for my taste. I don't know if we need to be posting 2 or 3 times a day, or doing things 2 or 3 times a day. But some people do. That's what I call a farmer. Again, they talk about broad topics. Often they run a group. So a lot of these people actually have groups that they run. So they'll start up a business group. And get people to join that group, and they'll run that group. Now, the reality is you have to be a farmer. If you want to start a business online group, if you want to start your own business group, you need to be a farmer, because you can't just, a group won't run, it won't function if there's no one actually nurturing the group. So if you do want to start your own business group, which is sometimes a really good idea, but if you want to be that, you have to be a nurturing type of person as well. Again, the farmer will bump old posts and reignite discussions again. Often they're quick and easy posts that a farmer does as well. They're not long narratives or not long big pulse articles. They might just do a mixture. They'll pose a quick question, or they'll make a quick comment, or they'll share a quick story that they've seen, or something like that. That's what a farmer will do. But the main thing with a farmer, if you want to take on that style, or if you feel like you are that style, it's going to be consistent. So you've got to be consistent. Touching and nurturing, regular posts, stuff like that as well. Okay, so that's the farmer. Questioner. So just think about these. As I'm going through, what persona do you think you would take on if you were going to get more involved and more active in LinkedIn? I'd love you to just type in as we go. I'd love you to type in which one's sort of resonating with you, which one you feel you're sort of being drawn towards. What sort of style? Are you the questioner? Are you the person that likes to ask questions, or could come up with a bank of 50 questions, sit for an hour and a half, come up with a bank of 50 questions, and then drip feed those questions out once a week for 50 weeks over the course of the year? Could you do that? Could you be the expert contributor? So could you sit for a couple of hours and build up a bank of 20 different things that you could contribute to your group environment, or to your LinkedIn thread, or to your posts, that could make you seen as an expert and as an authority? Could you come up with, spend a couple of hours or 3 hours and just get those in advance, and then just drip feed them out over time, so you don't have to think all the time. Do the hard work once. Could you be the contrarian? Are you the type of contrarian? Do you like a bit of a heated discussion sometimes about different ways of doing things, or putting forward an alternate view? I actually do that a little bit as well. Get some heated arguments, but I actually also get a lot of connections and get a lot of private messaging after the event as well. Are you the farmer? Are you the type of nurturing? Are you a type of nurturing person? The last one. Love to just do me a favour, type in what you think's resonating for you. The last one I want to talk to you about is I'd call it the mediator. Some people go in there and mediate, the mediator, okay? And that sort of thing, and what I'd say there is that they often calm the waters. I've just written my notes here, calm the waters. Okay, so yeah, they calm the waters. So what are the traits of a mediator? So normally, if you just jot these down in your notes there, normally a mediator keeps a cool head in that situation, so they don't get into banter with people. They don't, they don't, butt heads with contrarians. That's that sort of thing. A mediator normally calms the water and offers alternate perspectives. If you've got two people who are butting heads in a conversation or a thread, the mediator will often come in and say, "Hey, yeah, they're both great opinions, guys, and everyone's entitled to their, that sort of thing." Okay, the mediators normally have a high EQ. Okay, emotional intelligence. So normally a mediator will have that. So if you're a person with high EQ, you're right for being a mediator, using a mediator style. Mediators actually get amazing engagement. So what I've found over the years is that people who I've worked with and people who I know, mediators get engagement really, really well. People are drawn to mediators because people like that person who's sort of in between, keeping the waters calm, got a calm head, keeping the not rocking the boat, that sort of thing. So they actually get really good interaction with them, get good engagement. And often the other trait there, probably a mediator is often ready for any sort of ramifications. So if you have got a thread and people are at loggerheads, or there's arguments going on, that mediator again comes in and calms the waters, but they're also ready. They use logic often to overcome any ramifications of that interaction as well. So probably the last point there is they use a lot of logic in their discussions and interaction on LinkedIn. All right, so I'm just going to go to the so guys, I'd love to know, what would you be? Okay, so great. Some of you guys have typed in for me. That's awesome. Some haven't. So please just get a sense. Question. Would you be a questioner? The questioner. It's nice. I've written questions there, but it's the questioner. It's the expert contributor. The contrarian disagrees. The farmer. The person who nurtures, or the mediator, the person who calms the waters. Which one sort of most resonates with you? So Nathan's there. Okay, expert contributor, says Lee. Awesome, yeah, and I reckon that would be, I'm just trying to get a sense, I know most of you guys pretty personally now, I'll get a sense of where you're at. Questioner, the questioner and the expert contributor from Matt, yeah, absolutely. Expert contributor and questioner, Owen, that seems to be common. Expert and contrarian with a touch of questioner, well done. So remember I was talking about before, you can either be one of these types and be with that and run with that, or you can mix and match your style depending on the situation. So yeah, we're a pretty multi-skilled group of people. So great, William, awesome. Sounds boring, but I think I'm a mediator. Hey, we need everyone in LinkedIn. It takes all types. So Danielle, that's great. If you're the mediator, that's good. So if you were going to be on LinkedIn and work LinkedIn, you're going to come up with ways to be that mediator. If you think that's what you're going to be best at, come up with some ways to be the mediator. Benny says expert contributor, great. Expert contributor, questioner, get them to rethink. Nathan, absolutely, yeah, you'd be good at that. I like to ask a lot of questions too, so hey, it's you're naturally drawn to that, Danielle, for sure. Expert contributor, maybe contrarian, I think, yeah, Susan, totally. You could be both of those. So I start the thread, then calm it down later. Yeah, now you're talking. Exactly, Danielle, that's the way to do it. Experts don't always have to be right. Totally. Experts don't always have to be right, but yeah, it's just a position of authority. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. And Lee says here, see economists, the sort of Brexit experts. What else did he say? Brexit experts have changed. Someone's just saying that they're opinionated, so that's cool, and we've all got good opinions. All right, great. Guys, I hope that helped. I hope that gave you some clarity around different styles of communication on LinkedIn that have got the real good potential for working with you. Basically, so, yeah, absolutely. Really cool. All right.
let's just move that over. Make sure that's out of the way. And I'm going to fire that back up. All right. So we've done a couple of things there. So we've I've asked you that question. All right. So we've talked about auditing your profile. And we've also talked about making it bread and butter. You know, this is what we do. We're good interactors, and this is our daily bread. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's number 2. So we're going to spend a lot of time doing self-audit. We're going to audit your profile. We're going to taste. We're going to season for flavour. You're going to get it. You're going to get it on, guys. This is what we want to do. We're going to do what comes naturally to financial planners, and we're going to take on an online persona and a signature style through one of or a mixture of or a mix and match of those different interaction styles that we just went through. Now, the third thing we want to do, the third thing we absolutely want to do is we want to get noticed. We want to get ourselves noticed. So, you know, if you're going to be in it, you need to be committed, and you need to be in it. If you want to be in it, you've got to be in it, right? So seriously, guys, aside from creating blogs and your blog and your videos, if you do those sort of things, you really need to spend about, I reckon, if you do this right, once you've set up your profile, I reckon 10 minutes per day. I reckon you'd have if you just spent 10 simple minutes per day on this would massively change what you do and the way you do it. Okay, so yeah, that's all you need. I reckon 10 minutes. You're going to have a pretty lively LinkedIn site. Lots of conversations going on, but you know, that's the reality. That's all you need. 10 minutes. If you don't set aside that time, you can't expect any discussion. You can't expect any conversations. You can't expect any inquiries either, can you? So that's the thing. If you spend a bit of time, you can expect something. So the reality is, guys, if you think about what you're doing now, you're probably not putting much into LinkedIn, but conversely, you're probably not getting much out of it either. So I think there's a direct correlation between what you put in to what you put out, and I really believe you only need to put in 10 minutes to get it done. That's all it takes. Okay. So LinkedIn's got a lot to do with what I mentioned before about the law of reciprocity. Okay, the law of reciprocity. If you make comments, you'll get comments. If you answer, just want to write this down, guys. If you make comments, you will get comments. If you ask questions, you'll get. If you make, just had my son turn the vacuum on in the room next door to me. So, Brooke, can you just get Bo and tell him to do that? Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I've got a little domestic issue going on here at the house. So, guys, if you get questions, you'll get. If you ask questions, you'll get answers, and you'll get to answer back to them, and you'll get to converse about those questions and that sort of thing. If you share articles, you'll get your article shared. It's as simple as that. It's the law of reciprocity. Now, it's like you've heard about me talk before, guys. Some of you have been around for a while. You've heard me talk about the more. The more. Just the more. The more you talk to me, the more I'll talk to you. The more you smile at me, the more I'll smile at you. The more you buy me a beer, the more I'll buy you a beer. You know, the more. And that's the same sort of thing we're talking about here with LinkedIn. So we want to be present. We want to play a part in your LinkedIn community. We're going to interact. We're going to add value. Okay, I hope you're jotting these things down as I go. We want to give endorsements, because when you give endorsements, you get endorsements back. It's the law of reciprocity. It gets you noticed. You're going to ask for recommendations on LinkedIn. You're going to ask for recommendations, and you're going to give recommendations on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so if you work with an accountant, if you work with a strategic alliance partner, if you work with a mortgage broker, you're going to give them recommendations. And you know what? When you give them recommendations, they're going to give you recommendations straight back. And what that's going to do is build your persona. You're going to build your profile. Okay. So if someone impresses you, you're going to do that for them. You're going to connect with them. You're going to endorse them. And you're going to recommend them. Okay, you're going to connect with them, endorse them, and recommend them, guys. And guys, so what I'll do, if you like, who'd like some help with recommendations, guys? Just raise your hand. I'm going to clear the raise your hand button. Who'd like some help with getting some recommendations for their LinkedIn profile? Just raise your hand if you think it'd be valuable. If you don't think it'd be valuable, I'll just sort of skip past this. But if you'd like some help, I'm happy to. So if we get enough hands up in the All right, got a few hands. Some people don't want any more recommendations in LinkedIn, so that's interesting. A few people do. All right, I'll have to help those people that do want. So for those people who've got their hands raised right now, JD, can you just make a note of who's got their hands raised now? And what we'll do at the end, we will, how about I share
a LinkedIn testimonial, or well, this is basically for testimonials anywhere, guys. If you want to use it, but this is a really good recommendation gatherer that I've used in LinkedIn to massive success, and I know a couple of the posse have used it as well. I think Karen Hendry from the Hendry Group needed some recommendations and needed some testimonials for their LinkedIn and their website. She sent, I think she sent 50 of these out via email and got 40 awesome quality testimonials that she can now use for her website and her LinkedIn profile. So guys, anyway, so this is just a template. This is what I use, and just subject line if it's an email or if it's because in LinkedIn you can actually go in and request people to give you a recommendation in there. And then what happens is they'll type up their recommendation, they hit a button and it comes back to you, and you can then edit it. And if you're not 100% happy with what they've done, you can actually go back to them and say, hey dude, can you make this change, or can you change this, or do whatever. So it's really cool. So you actually get a bit of control in the recommendation. But hey guys, I know this is a bit cheeky, but ... I'm writing to ask if you would be able to write a brief recommendation of my work here at my business, and that I can include on my website, Facebook, LinkedIn, or all of the above. I'm especially looking for what you know about me over the years that has had a positive impact on your financial situation. Or, who would you recommend my business to? Example, if you're at blah and you're looking for X, Y, and Z, I recommend blah at your business. Okay. Would you be up for that, John, Fred, Mary? I'd really appreciate a recommendation from someone as respected around the traps as you, or, insert your relevant thing here, whatever feels comfortable for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks in advance for your help. Regards, your name. So, guys, what are we doing here? So I just want you to quickly do me a favour. Probably need for Paul more. Yeah, totally, Danielle. That's fine. Great stuff. We'll use this. Good lead. Guys, what do you make of that? How does that feel? So if you were to send something out to your people that you've done a really good, you've done a good job at, or people respect you, how would you feel about using something like that? What does it do? How does it help? Yeah, what do you think about that? Great stuff. Yes, Lee, thank you. Yeah, valuable, easy, not pushy, thanks. Yeah, you've taught them what to ask for. Yeah, exactly right. So we've actually educated them exactly what we want in a testimonial or a recommendation there. So it's actually helping them. We're teaching them what to want by using this template. So Jada, just keep a list of those, but yes, very valuable, thank you. All they can say is no. You know what? The reality is they just don't say no. Most people, that's so unpushy or it's not hassling people. It's not weird or anything like that. You just don't get a no. They just do it for you because as long as you've added value, people do things for you. Easy, and they wouldn't hesitate. Totally, Benny. Exactly right. All right, guys. So JD, so for the people with their hands up now, can you just take a note of those, and we'll get that out to those straight away. All right. Okay. Let's move into this. I want to, guys. So the third part is to get noticed. All right, guys. Love you to grab your worksheets again, and what I want to walk through now is it's basically what I call the LinkedIn brand builder. So you've got a blank framework there. You've got a blank, funnily enough, it's a 9-box framework that we're going to walk through today, and it's called the LinkedIn brand builder. And so what I'll do is I'll actually get my iPad back up on the screen. Guys, can I just get a comment in there, guys? Is this okay so far? Is this going okay? Is this making sense? Is this helping what we've done so far today? Are you getting value out of what we've done? Just give me a yes or a thank you or a yeehaw or a no, this is crap, or whatever you feel is right for you to put in there. So I'd love you. I just want to get a gauge. I want to know that you're picking up what I'm putting down, basically. If that's cool, yeah, this is good. Hands on value. Thank you, Susan. Great. Yep. Thumbs up. Yep. Yeah, cool. 2 by thumbs up, says Benny. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. Okay, I'm glad you're getting some value out of this. And again, remember next week this is kind of the mechanics, the boring stuff today. Next week we're going to get into the interaction and how to reach out to people next week. So just remember, we've got to get the groundwork done first. So cool. All right, guys, let's have a think about this. So I talked about before. There's 3 things that we need to think about when we're building our LinkedIn. So when we're building our brand, so again, it's called the brand builder. So the first thing we need to think about over here is, and we did it in the Venn diagram, is basically the who. So we're talking about what persona you're putting across, or what you're putting across about you, about them, and about your business as well. So it's the who part of this is very important, number one. Number two, we're also talking about the what. So I'm going to write the what in here. I'll just get you to jot along with me on your worksheets as well. And the third part is the how. That's what we want to work on. How you know, how you add value, how you're seen as the expert, and the like. Okay, so I'm just going to rub out my line because I like it a bit neater than that. All right, so guys, so here's the thing. So we're going to go from left to right as we normally do. So the first thing in the who part that's going to set you apart from your competitors is basically we need to think about the tagline. We need to think about your tagline. Okay, so we've got your name, we know your name, and we've got your profile pic. I haven't really, so we've got to make sure your profile pic's really good and the right sort of style. We don't want a Facebook style. We don't want a selfie. We don't want a laying at the beach if you can help it, but unless it's a professional. I know Karen had some professional photographs of her sitting on a beach in business clothes, working on her laptop on her knees at the beach in business attire, like a dress and high heels, so which I thought was really cool. So it was actually it was a persona that she took on, but generally you wouldn't have yourself lying at the beach taking a foot selfie with a cocktail in your hand on LinkedIn, which is fine on Facebook, by the way. Okay, all right, so the things here, what we're going to do, we're going to build, I want you to ride along with me, we're going to build a persona. Okay, so we're going to build a persona on LinkedIn. I want you to not just be, I want you to have, I want there to be something that people can reach out and grab and relate to. And, we want it to become, you want to have some sort of persona or a mixture of personas in there. We're going to tell, with your tagline, it's going to tell people what you do. So it's going to tell peeps what you do. So that's what we want. So it's your name. This is what we do, and it's basically who you help and what problems do you solve. So you can write that, just jot that in there somewhere as well. So your tagline's got to really say who you help and what problems you solve. It's okay to self-proclaim. Okay, so you can call yourself an expert. I want you to call yourself an expert, because if you don't think that you're an expert in your own eyes, no one else is going to think that. Let me assure you. I'd also like you to be the authority. Be the authority in your space. Authority. Okay, I want you to be the authority. So your tagline has to make you look and feel like you are the authority. And again, I just said, who you help, what probs you solve. They're the critical things that we want to get across in your LinkedIn tagline. Okay, so the first part of this is the tagline. First part of the who is the tagline. Second part is the summary. Okay, we're going to have a really good quality, a really clear summary in this. And so the thing with this is that your summary, so I hope you're writing along with me, your summary is all about, oops, sorry guys. Got my spelling Nazi on the line, so I've got to get this right. So is about them. So your summary is all about them. Your awesomeness is all about them, not about you. Your summary is going to have what I call a so what factor. Okay. So when people read your summary, I want them to be they've got to be able to say, so what? What does that mean to me? So when you're talking about your summary, you want them to say, the caveat here is a so what? What does that mean to me? What does your summary mean to me? How does that help me? Your summary is going to tell a story in some way, shape or form. Tell a story. Okay, it's going to tell a story, some sort of story, and I'll give you a couple of examples in a minute. And it's going to also talk about why you do what you do. Hopefully you're what you do. Hopefully you're thinking about your current profiles and how you can put these into play and what we need to do different. Often, if you want to, it's sometimes it's something I haven't done, but I'm actually working on it right now. I've actually sometimes a short video is a really good thing to have on your LinkedIn profile as well. A little why video.
a little why you do what you do video. Just a 30-second video about who you help and what problems you solve and why you do that. So a little short video. Like I said, I'm working on one at the moment. Once I've done that, I'm happy to share the scripting for that with you guys as well. I'll just get one done first, show you what it looks like, and then I'll give you the template for that as well. So that should be done the next week or so. All right, so the third thing your who needs to consider is also call to action or actions. So we've got to have a call to action at the end of it as well. We don't want them to just read your summary, think you're awesome, and then click away. There's got to be a call to action. So we're going to do a few things. We're going to invite connection. We're going to invite connection. Okay, we're going to put a caveat on some of that. We're going to be really specific in who you invite. So if that sounds, so here's who I work with, here's what I do, here's who I work with, here's the problems I solve. If that sounds like you, then we should connect. If that doesn't sound like you at all, can you just go somewhere else because I'm too busy, right? So we want to be really, really specific in who you actually have the call to action and who accepts your call to action. We're going to offer a download, or 3 or 5, and that's where your lead magnets, your one-page lead magnets, your guides, your cheat sheets, your flyers, your budget planners, that sort of thing. We're going to offer downloads. And what that's going to do, most people, once they take a download, they're going to connect with you anyway, number one. Number two, that's also going to get them to your landing page, and you're going to get their first name and their email address, and you're going to, you're going to be able to communicate from there. You're going to make whatever your call to action is, you're going to make it resonate with them. So I want them to think at the end of it, hey, that's me. How did he know that about me? He sounds like he works with people like me, or she sounds like she works with people like me all the time, every single day. He knows me, or she knows me, that sort of thing. And your call to action wants to also make you valuable to them. Valuable to them. Okay, so if they click the link, or if they connect with you, if they download this guide, there's got to be, means that that's going to have them reaching out to you. It's going to make you valuable to them. It's going to make them lean towards you. So that's the thing. So okay, that's the who part. So the taglines, we've got to have a really strong tagline. We're going to have a really good, strong summary, and it's going to be all about them. And we're going to have some call to actions. We don't want them to click away after they're finished. All right, let's get into the what. Okay, so what are some of the things that you can do and you can add onto your LinkedIn? Well, the first thing we can do, we've got to post. So we can have posts, all right? So the thing is here, we want to make them regular. There's no point doing a post and then not doing anything for 7 weeks and wondering why you're not getting any interaction with them. You want to make them relevant. Okay, so they've got to be relevant to the problem. So we all know the 4 forces exercise. We're going to your posts and your comments and your discussions in LinkedIn. They're going to be around the frustrations and fears generally, more so than the wants and aspirations. So you get your list of wants, frustrations and fears, and you come up with some posts about those things, because that's what people will do more to avoid pain than they will pleasure. So that's why we focus on the frustrations and fears. We want to do both long post, like the what do they call it, the LinkedIn Pulse, so long, but we can also do some short, just little posts, and little posts in your profile there. They just can be, often they're just like questions, or I read a great article, or I saw a good discussion the other night, or I saw this thing in the newspaper on the weekend, that sort of thing. So you want to do your pulse blogs, but you also want to mix and mash and break it up with something a little bit shorter as well. And as you see things in the paper, as you see things on the news, or as you see things in the industry magazines, get your swipe file folder. See, a lot of you guys have got the swipe file folder, but I don't know how many of you are using it. Get a swipe file folder on your desktop and just save stuff you see in there, so that when you need some inspiration or some ideas or a starting point, you can go back to your swipe files, and that'll give you the starting point to get these things done. All right. I've talked about the 4 forces already, so we list out the 4 forces for them. I want you to create your posts. I'm saying create with intent here. Create with intent. So I want you to create it. If you're going to go to the trouble to create a blog or do a pulse article or make a video or do something like that, I want there to be an outcome. I want you to have the outcome in mind before you even start. I want you to create with intent. All right. So I'm just conscious of time, guys. I'm going to just breeze through this a little bit. Second thing we can do is make those comments, like I mentioned before. So the comments. Okay. So we want to do that often.
We want to be commenting often on your own post, but on other people's posts as well. We can comment on other people's things. We're trying to further the relationship with these comments. The relationship. We want to reward and recognise people and tell people that they've done a good job, or their comment makes sense, or it resonates with you, or that's an important point that they've brought up, or further the relationship. Relationship. You know, it's really helpful. Well done. Congratulate them. Put your arm around them. Again, like I said before, you're going to choose a style. Right, so we want to choose a style, like we said before, you know, the questioner, the contributor, the contrarian, the farmer, you know, whoever it happens to be for you, your mediator, that sort of thing. And we want to be really, really clear on buyers. I call it the moment of intent. So what you'll find, guys, when there's a thread in LinkedIn, or even in Facebook, but when there's a thread in LinkedIn, there'll be a reason people are talking about that. So what you want to be doing with an eagle eye, you want to be watching and reading the comments, but I want you to be reading into the comments. Why are they making this comment? Why are they talking about this? Why is this such an issue for them? Because what you'll find, if you do it well, you'll find, you've heard me talk about before, you want to find a thread that you can pull on and run with. And that's what I call the moment of intent. What is the intent behind their conversation, so that you can get into that conversation and pull on that thread. Okay, really, really important one there. Okay, all right. So yeah, so be clear on the moment of intent. Watch for it. All right. Third part of this again is the pulse articles. That's the big, long pulse articles that you see people write. Super, super simple, and I'll show you about how to do that another day. So we're going to offer opinions. Yep. Offer opinions. We're going to offer facts. We're going to offer facts. Okay, we can help them with a way forward. Help them move forward. All right, so give them inspiration, give them ideas, show them that you know, show them you can help. So we want to help them move forward. We want to help them move away from their pain and get towards their pleasure. So how can you do that in a pulse article? Okay, you've got to think about that. Hey dudes, give advice. Give advice, not specific advice, but give people advice. Help them. Show that you know. Add some value to what you're doing. And I'd also, if I was doing pulse articles, and I kind of mentioned it before, I would choose pain point subjects. Okay, pain point topics to talk about. Like I said before, people do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. So we focus on the frustrations, the fears, the pains, the sticky points, the speed bumps, the hurdles, the things that aren't working for them. And you want to show them the problem, you want to show them the promise, and you want to walk them through the steps to get to the other side. Right, so we've worked on the who, we've worked on the what. I'm sorry I'm doing this a little bit quick, and I reckon I'm going to have about another 10 minutes. I reckon we'll be 5 minutes over, won't be much longer than that, guys, so please stick around. Got something cool at the end for you if you do stick around. The other thing, the how. So we worked on the who and the what, now we've got the how. So we've got the how. So the first thing we want to think about here is your experience. Okay, your experience. So we're going to let them know about your experience. We're going to talk about your history and your background. You know, so I talked about in my summary, I talked about the places I've worked. I've talked about my, all the different variety of jobs that I've had and things like that. So history and background we talk about. Okay. We are also going to talk about some details of go into a bit of detail with it as well. If you look at my summaries and all the various summaries for the different roles I've had, I've gone into a lot of detail into those. So it talks about where I've been and what I've done and the sort of roles I've had in those positions as well. So it kind of shows that I know what I'm talking about anyway. So in other words, there you go. So you're going to show you know. You want to show you know. This is a really critical point, guys. Everything we do, we want to make sure that that person walks away and says, hey, this person must know what they're on about. It sounds to me like they do. It looks to me like they do. They've got the history and the background to say that they should do. They're a person that comes from a place of experience. They must be an authority. And I feel like they're an authority. They know their stuff. Okay? You're also going to do the old what's in it for me. Remember, that's what it's all about. That's all they care about. They don't really care about any of that other stuff. It's all about what's in it for them. And you're going to, you're going to, I call this expand the balloon. Expand the balloon. You're going to make it bigger. you're going to expand on it. So if you've got something awesome, you're going to value stack it. You're going to slice and dice that awesomeness up and make lots of different sub-awesomenesses, because that's a word, right? So you're going to make lots of sub-awesomenesses from that awesome thing. So you're going to expand the balloon, make your awesomeness bigger when you're doing your profile and what you know and who you are and the things that you've done. So I've done this, and what that involved was this and was that, and I've done this, and I've had experience in here, and then it involved that and this study and blah, 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 blah. And I've done this other awesome thing, and that involved, and I did this, and I had experience in that, and I touched that, and I was called on to speak about this, and blah, 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 blah. And I did this third other awesome thing, and in that I was da 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 da. So you're going to break it down, so you can expand the balloon, make your experience and your amazingness bigger by just expanding on it and slicing and dicing it up. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to show proof. All right, so you're going to show proof. You're going to get, like I said before, you're going to get it's recommendations, right? Recommendations. But you know, the thing is, you're going to give and you're going to get recommendations. So to get, you're going to get recommendations, but we also want to give them as well, because the more you give, the more you get, right? The more, like I said. You're going to do endorsements, and you're going to get endorsements, and you're going to ask, like I asked you guys today. So, guys, I think about it. I asked you guys today, if it would be okay with you, if you feel like I've added some value, if you feel like I know what I'm talking about, what would really, really help me in my business is if you would take a couple of minutes to give me a few recommendations on stuff that you feel that I've been able to add value and that you know that I'm good at. Now, nothing wrong with that. It's not pushy, it's not weird, it's not hassling, it's just a conversation. And if I've done a good job, hopefully you guys will actually go in there and give me a few recommendations. So guys, that's exactly the sort of process that I want you to use with people that you know. And people say, yeah, dude, sure, no worries at all. You are good at those things. You have helped me with those things. I know you're good at that stuff. I'm happy to help you. I'll just repeat. They'll normally say, I'm happy to help you, just like I know you guys are as well. It's about stories and testimonials. Again, like I said before, stories, testimonials. Right. The other thing there are case studies as you can do as well, and I'm just building up a bank of case studies that'll get me up to all-star status, I think, hopefully. I've got some case studies, and I'm going to be calling on a few of the posse shortly to do a few case studies. Did an awesome couple with Matt and a couple of other guys just before the end of the year last year. And also, I like photos is the other thing. Lots of photos, guys. Show people you know. And the other thing here is if you've had great claims experience, people really, from your point of view, people really want to hear that. They want to hear that you've had, you know, they want to hear results. So if you've had some good claims experiences, I want you to get those claims experiences onto your LinkedIn profile because people really, really like to hear that. Last one, really, really quickly, I'll fly through this. You want to help give them some tools. So we're going to give them lead magnets. You can write this in, guys. It's checklists, lists, / cheat sheets. Anything that's going to help people get ahead. You know, mortgage calculator, mortgage cheat list, superannuation checklist, you know, 5 things about, checklist on things to consider on transition to retirement, you know, insurance check, what to look out for insurance, you know, articles that you've ever wrote or you're going to write. So we'll do that in a couple of weeks. We're going to get some of you guys, we're going to get you published in some magazines and some industry press so that you've got some articles to get out there. We'll do that. We'll talk about that later. Links to anything on your website or your Facebook page, and like I said before, calculators, downloads, stuff like that. All right. So guys, what we've just done there is we've done a brand audit on your LinkedIn profile. We talked about who this site is all, this profile is all for. We've talked about what is in there and what you get when you come and be involved in this profile, and how we provide our awesomeness tagline, summary, call to actions. We do post regularly, we comment regularly, and we have pulse articles for that bit more impact. And then we talk a lot about our experience. We give them proof of your awesomeness, and we provide them with some tools to help them in their world and make it easier for them. Guys, I hope that helped. I hope you got some value out of that. Now, what if I was able to help even further with that? Would that be good for you? I might have something here that might help you. So who'd like to improve their LinkedIn summary? Guys, so I'll clear the raise your hand, guys. Who'd like to improve their LinkedIn summary? Who'd like to do that? Just raise your hand for me. If you'd like to improve your LinkedIn summary, or even just have a good one, would you like to do that? All right, what if I was able to give you some choices? So what I've done, guys, I've actually created the ultimate LinkedIn summary template, and I've used a few different formulas. In fact, guys, I've actually got 8 different options here for LinkedIn summaries. So number 1, I've got a good tagline. Chief Prosperity Officer, or become a. I don't know why it's doing that. What's going on there? Okay. Call yourself a name. Become a persona at your business as your tagline. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry, guys. Hi and welcome to our page. I'm your name. I'm a professional financial planner and Chief Prosperity Officer here at Your Biz. Your Biz came about because of blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff in yellow can be edited. So for you, this means stability, comfort, growth, or whatever your words are, whatever your 3 catchphrases are. Quality advice and service is our aim here at our biz, and what drives our business. It's your best interest is our primary motivation. We focus on you, your future, your well-being, and your family's prosperity. What's the key word there? What's your, isn't it? Core values, who we help, so we're now specifically calling out our avatar. And, if that sounds like you, I encourage you to make contact with me personally, blah, 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 at da-da-da. So, guys, you could use that as a summary. Got another option. Tagline, founder of your biz and creator of your program, the care and maintenance program, or the XYZ white paper series program, or the if you're doing workshops or seminars, or the blah, blah, blah workshop series, or that sort of thing. So you can, if you've got your program there. Hey, if you're an avatar and your time poor, super busy, you want to make the most of your financial situation, or you have employees that you'd like to help with, then I invite you to connect with me. The caveat, you must be passionate about wanting to do things better financially and you have awesome outcomes and results. So we put a caveat in there. I don't know what's doing that. I believe in this. This is my why. This is why I do it. I believe strategy is critical. It's my mission to help my clients set them financially free. You can choose, you fix your own words here, guys, doesn't matter. The financial landscape's changing all the time, so you've got to keep up and embrace that change. If you believe there is a better way, well, why not connect with me? Your financial future depends on it, so there's another way. Number 3, this is the specialist method. So I am the wealth management specialist, or the risk insurance specialist for avatars here in your town, let's say. So when it comes to working with me, your name as your financial will be set for something you've never experienced before. You'll find a level of passion, enthusiasm and caring that will leave you empowered. My passion is about helping you. Because I specialise in blah, 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 I understand your biggest frustrations and deepest fears. I know that you're worried about X, Y, Z, ABC and 1, 2, 3. I appreciate that it's scary once you move into retirement and moving towards retirement. So my role's simple. It's to help you plan for a better way. So I'll take away the confusion from your finances and replace it with ways to build your wealth and prosperity. I'm here to help you. So that's another method. Here's another one, the financial advice specialist for FIFO and tradies. So and I think this is a take on mine, so I often get asked what that sort of client looks like. Well, in fact, they look just like you. So we paint a picture of the avatar that we're trying to attract. And then we say, hey, does it resonate with you? If it does, let's hook up. Number 5. My tagline, I help busy working families make informed decisions about their money and protect what they own. So juggling your finances can be daunting. You're working, you're completing jobs, managing workers, quoting, so this is probably for self-employed, quoting the next job, being your tradies and stuff like that. I think this is what I used to use actually as a financial planner, and managing your own affairs. You're away from home a lot, busting your gut, providing a better life for your family. This is, remember mine was tradies and FIFO. However, you seem to be spending all that you earn and you can't see a light at the end of the tunnel. You're striving to have a great life, create a comfortable environment, and for now and retirement, but you're struggling to find the time to actually sit down and figure out what needs to be done. But here's the good news: you're not alone. For years now, I've been helping people just like you with these same issues. I'm pretty certain I can help you too. If you've put it off long enough. It's finally time to get stuff done, get yourself back on track. You know how something has to be done and fast. So here's the next. So what's the next step? I hear you say. So the question that we want them to ask, we actually ask them for them, right? Well, that's the easy part. Let's get together. Just private message me in here and I'll help you. So we're instructing them how to talk to us. Decisions times actions equals results was one of my old cash rides. Talk soon. General warning there, just general advice warning. That's number 5. Number 6, I help blah, blah, blah. So you get the gist, right? I help young professionals. Okay. Number 7, the professional financial planner who gets stuff done. So are you a small business owner who is? Frustration, 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 frustration. We're here to help. We address all those needs. We've created our business specifically for people like you. Whether it's because of lack of resources or da-da-da, we offer all this stuff. Okay, in short, we exist to help small business owners reach their full potential, or, you insert relevant thing there. Okay, my why is the thrill of collaborative financial success, breaking through ceilings and moving forward with purpose. Okay, and then number 8, professional financial planner who gets stuff done. That's a little bit different method of that as well. I love, why do I love helping retirees? Well, here's the reasons why and why I'm good at it. And that's why we do these things at our business. Blah, blah, blah. So guys, 8 different summaries and taglines in there for you to choose from. Sort of pour yourself into it, copy and paste, and actually what you can do, you can mix them up. What I normally do, I keep one for 6 months and then I change it up. And then I change it again, I keep my summary, but I change my tagline. So guys, would that be valuable for you? Just give me a yes. Just give me a yes, please, guys, if that would be cool. Can you go back on screen for a sec? Can I go back on to one? Can you go back to one screen for a sec? Am I not on one screen? So my internet just shut down. Well, I listened to the recording. Okay, yes, please. Okay, so people saw that. Okay, cool. Lee, thank you, guys. Okay, so JD, we're going to put that up into the posse. Into the members site after once the recording's done. All right, guys. Hey, so what do you think about all of that? You get it? Does it actually make sense? Does that help? Guys, what I want you to know, one thing I want you to be clear on, I've got 2 minutes, let me just summarize this and give you a heads up on next week, because what I want you to be really, really clear on is that the market that you're working in is getting more and more and more competitive every single day, and being around the right type of prospects and people to help you build your business is getting harder and harder and harder. So it's up to you to create the connections and to get into conversations and to drive leads, build authority and scale your business. It's up to you. And I really, truly believe that LinkedIn is the very, very best place for you to do that. Okay, so if you do it right, you're going to consistently generate interest from new people, and you're going to have something of value to say to them or something of value to give to them as well. And you'll get responses, you'll get more interaction, you'll get more conversations, you'll get leads. And if you get those things, you really, at the end of the day, you fill your conversion funnel and you end up with more A-grade clients. Okay, and that's the name of the game. All right, guys, I won't worry about a game plan. So here's the game plan for you guys. Really go back and have a look and run. I want you to filter that conversion, the LinkedIn, audit through your LinkedIn page, okay? And I've got those couple of templates which will be up in the members site as soon as the video's uploaded. So that's the game plan for this next couple of weeks. I want you to get the basis right, and then next week, because the reality is that next week, we've got a pretty cool session, guys. So I want you to just picture this for a second. So really, just close your eyes for a second. Picture this. You get invited to the world's biggest insert your avatar networking event, right? So insert your avatar. So you get an invitation to the world's biggest networking event for the ideal people that you want to work with. All the most important people are there. All the people that you've only ever dreamed of working with them, and you want them, or you've always wanted to be part of their world. You've admired them from a distance for a long time, but you've never known how to get close to them or even had the courage to approach them before. Okay? You got that? You got that in your head, but now's your time. Okay? I want you to, everyone have that picture in their head. Now is your time. Okay? Now's the time to do it. You got this invitation. You're just about to walk in the front door, but wait, hold on. There's 3 things you need to know before you do that. The first thing you need to know is how to work the room like never before. Okay? Number 2, you need to find how to find those ideal prospects in a crowded room, and even more importantly, you need to work out how to reach out to them once you've found them. Okay, next week that's what we're going to be going through. Okay, we're going to do the LinkedIn Masterclass number 2. So if it's okay, guys, if I've got your permission, we're going to forego one of the model weeks next week, and I'm going to do the second part of this. If that's cool with you. I think that's critically important. So just give me a okay in the question box if you're cool with that. If I get the permission. To do that, I'm just going to sacrifice one of the model weeks for another LinkedIn week, if that's cool with you. Just give me that's cool, dude. Yeah, great. Okay. All right, so that's where we're going with this. So we've worked on your brand and your profile, and now it's time to work on the connection from here. So we're going to focus on how to build rapport, increase your authority, get you into conversations, and there's a 3-step process I'm going to show you. It's so easy. It's killer. I've got heaps of cut and paste templates for you next week. so that you can make interacting and connecting with the right people easier than you can ever imagine. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is and how much interaction you get with them as well. So that's what we've got coming your way. Sorry I've gone a little bit over time, guys, but I thought there was a fair bit to go through today. Hey, guys, thanks so much for your interaction today. I've had fun. I hope you've got value out of today's session. Guys, do me a favour, jump onto the Facebook page. I'm going to put a post up shortly to say, hey, what did you get out of today's session, because I didn't get time to do it. Guys, if you can do me that favour, it would be really awesome if you could jump in and give me a couple of recommendations for stuff that you think I might know a little bit about. That would be really helpful for me. And also, just keep an eye out in your inbox. I'm actually going to be asking some of you guys, that hopefully I've got some value from. I'm going to actually reach out and ask you for some recommendations as well, and hopefully you'll give me that law of reciprocity. Come back to me again as well. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much. Take care, guys. Have an awesome week this week. Have a great weekend, and let's start off a really strong second half of this year going forward from next week. So, guys, take care, everyone. Stay awesome, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay, take care. Bye now.